Hey everybody, it is April 13th and we are going to go learn to sail. All right, here's the boat we're staying on. It's a Beneteau 39. We'll fall off the dock, so that's the best shot you're gonna get. You can hear me from the wind. It is whipping. Do a boat tour later. Right, so here's my bed. There's Dave. Here are the lights. And we did not realize this, but the blue tape, that is leaks. So there's a nice
not caused by us leaks
strip right there. And there's another blue tape right there, which happens to be right over my bed. So you can see the water. So my bed moved there last night, which was awesome and not as restful as I might have hoped. Anyway, you know every boat leaks, and now we know where this one leaks. Morning everyone. So it's day 2 in Kemah, Texas. Some birds fighting. So I came down to Kemah to take ASA 101, 103, 104 and a docking course to get ready for the driving the boat. I picked Kemah because when I first started looking at courses, I had a friend who recommended me to a course in Grenada. It was a week of live aboard course down in Grenada. It covered all of the courses to get a bareback charter certificate, which would have been really cool. So I started looking into it, and to do the catamaran version, which is just the bareback that gives you a catamaran certificate instead of a monohull certificate, it was $2,900. But when we moved and got the boat early and moved our tide table up from 10 years to 3 years, the $2,900 was much more difficult to come up with. So I started looking around in the US, figuring it would be cheaper in the US or the Caribbean. I couldn't find anything in the Caribbean cheaper. I looked in Virginia and up the East Coast, and it was more expensive. It was like $3,100 for a week. I stumbled across Jessica and Ryan's video when they had their ASA classes, and it was here in Kemah at this place called South Coast Sailing Adventures, who so far I highly recommend. So I started looking into them, and their course for the 4 classes, it was not live aboard and you do not get food, was $1,700 approximately. So we talked to them. They agreed to let us stay on one of their boats, so we're actually living on a boat in the marina, which is great. It's a good experience if you haven't done it. So yesterday was day 1. We got to Kemah, Texas on Friday before the class, and it was 80 degrees and gorgeous, but really windy. Yesterday, the first day of class, it rained all night and it got cold, really cold. Like it was maybe 50 degrees was the high yesterday, at least during class. Raining, 35 knot gusts on the winds. So they did the morning class like usual, and then instead of sailing in the afternoon, we did a little more class and we took the test. So it was really cool that they could switch the class around. And then today, day 2, we are going to sail all day. I don't know if you can tell from the trees around me, the wind has died down. It's still supposed to be up near 20, which is a little heavy, but we'll make it manage. We're going out on a 26-foot sailboat with them, starting at 9 o'clock, which is a couple hours from now. So, we finished the second day of ASA 101 here with South Coast Sailing Adventures. It's a good day. It was a little windy. The winds were 15 to 20, gusting to 25 in the morning. So they took us over to the lake. Actually, they took us into the bay, and it was choppy. And we had 2 reefs in the main, and we only had about 3 or 4 foot of the jib out. And it was still really choppy, so we went back into the lake and we did our drills there. There were 3 of us on the boat, so we did tacking, we did the points of reach, or the points of sail, changing between the points of sail, and changing what it took to do that. So as far as the jib being trimmed and the mainsail being trimmed, so one person was on each station, so a lot of fun. Then we did man overboard. We did that a few times each. If any of you know my son Cayman, who loves to drag off the back of the sailboat and oftentimes loses his grip, we have done a lot of man overboards at Cowan Lake, so thank you, Cayman. Made this very easy. After that, we had some time to spare before we did the docking. So we went back out into the bay, and the winds had died down a little bit, but they changed direction, so we had some chop, probably 2-foot swells. So we played out there and just sailed around for an hour and a half. Gorgeous, gorgeous day, playing on a sailboat. Then we came back, we docked the boat several times each and called it a day. We got our certificates and graduated the class. So tomorrow we will start ASA 103. Right now they have it scheduled to be on a 32-foot boat. It's a 4.5-hour sail to Galveston. We'll have more tomorrow.